Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Johnson Salami, and I hope you have a lovely time wherever you're watching me. Today's date is 25th day in the month of August 2026, and now we'll be looking at the trading news, JB Trading News. I hope you are ready. Just take a sip of water and then relax and get what is going on. Now, what is happening here? First one is Nigeria, the fullest other African countries, dominate was 60 poorest by GDP, PPP, that is by capita. This is very, very interesting. Nigeria is among the 60th because according to the numbers we are in, we are number 56. The Burundi took the first, while also Yemen took fourth position. Yemen is only non-African country. So that means other Asian countries had their numbers are not here. They're not among the top 10 of the poorest country based on the per capita. That is a per capita. Yeah. If you look at it very well now, last year 2025 we were in number of 44. From 44 we are now in from 44 last year we're now in number 56 this year. So that is the improvement based on only that GDP ratio, that GDP ratio there, gross domestic per capita. That, you can say there that Nigeria move a bit forward, but this is going to be only one factor. So there are other indices that you can use to determine, to know whether the country is getting poorer or not. But this is what they say, that only one, we're now in number 56, from 44 to 56, a big improvement. That is based on only one factor. But if you look at general factors, we are likely one of the poorest countries in the world. We are called poverty capital of the world. That is to show that we're so serious. Now let's move on to the next one. The next one is over 15 children killed in the Kano diphtheria outbreak. Lawmakers. So there's case now going on like typhoid, but now what you can see there is that the numbers of children being pied. I don't want to use the word because of the community guidelines on YouTube. So 50 pied because of this issue here, this diphtheria. You can see the children. The picture shows more the information about it, and it's happening in Kano State, and that is the lawmakers from Kano. They urge Governor Abba Yusuf to declare health emergency and provide urgent support. Now, if you look at the numbers is not really, it's not small numbers. We are counting in the 20s, 30s, 40s, before 50s. Then last year, it was so massive last year. It also happened, it has happened before, but we wonder what the government is doing regarding this aspect. And they only focus more on the election that's coming up next year. We wonder how long Nigerians, the children will be also suffer. Not only children, there are other aspects in terms of kidnappings. Hopefully, let me see if there's no one today. This one is about accidents that happens. 7 killed, 2 injured in a gun crash. And you know the funniest thing? All of them, they were men that lost their lives. They are men. Male. Because of hustling, trying to provide. All these people, they were traveling and looking for a way of providing for their own family members. But unfortunately, the accident was so massive, and then it happened on the Tuesday. Tuesday morning around 12 a.m. or around 12 a.m. And then within 5 minutes, my FRC, they said that there was very swift response. But sometimes it's not about how responsive the federal safety or those who are in charge of a unit of emergency will they respond, because when somebody is already late, there's nothing they can do. Even though it's 3 minutes fast, the speed, the fatal accident, and according to the cause, they say that speed violation identified as probable cause. That is a federal road safety call. Now, we wonder how long are we to continue like this, but what about the road? How good is the road? That's the question I want to look at. But let's look at the next one. Stop inviting African dictators. Falana fought NB over George Weah invitation. Now, this is George Weah. You know, it was his ex-governor, ex-president of Liberia, the former Liberia president. As you can see, the complaint is about he did not perform, he did not do well. He abused the judiciary. He also did not, he abused a lot of things in terms of democratic process, that did not follow some due process. Further criticize the for inviting, okay, I want to appeal that the bar associations must stop inviting the dictators in Africa to come and address us. This is coming from Falana. So he's going to make this statement and say that stop inviting him. So now, the idea now is that Falana alleges what? Judiciary was captured under Weah's regime. That means 2018 to 2024. That is 6 years. 6 years that served that Judge Weah capture the judiciary. That is what alleges. The judiciary independence was undermined. And then Liberia sought redress outside Liberia at the ECOWAS court. So they have to go to ECOWAS. Well, the ECOWAS, talking about the economic community of West African countries. That is the court they took him to there. So the person that took to court, because of the abuse of power, I think that's what's happening in Nigeria currently now. We're having the president who has not been following the constitutions. Because, for example, you're supposed to be publishing the revenue and expenditure. But still, the president has not been able to fulfill that by publishing all the revenues. And so that people can know. And then there's some information that's supposed to be online or in the open space that the Nigerians will be aware. But the president has not been doing well. Hasn't been performing well. We're having 3 budgets running concurrently. Which kind of business is that? Which kind of country is that? Which kind of government is that? That will be running concurrently 3 budgets at the same time. So in other words, the president that fails to follow due process, to be able to know, so that he does not want the Nigerians to know how he has messed up the country. In other words, if you don't know the performance of 2023, 2024, 2025, that is what it just made Nigeria to be fools. Like, you just think that Nigerians are fools. And we have a lot of APC data boys, those who are defending this kind of failure and disaster, because it does not make sense. So let's look at the last one. This is APC denies withdrawing Tinubu campaign council list. Now, talk about campaign list. We are seeing, according to what is spreading online, that NRC, the Nigeria Revenue Service, that means the chairman, is also part of the list of council, of APC council. The person that is a public servant, public service, the chairman, who was in charge of the old Nigeria Revenue, is still acting under Tinubu's campaign. Those who are going to be in charge, the general, and this is the issue that we're talking about. The Tinubu's government and APC government are mixed both the governance and also politics together. I'm talking about how the person that's supposed to be in charge of ensuring that the money, revenue, all the things that are coming in are safe. They're in charge, putting in campaign of, they are putting in charge of the campaign. To be using, is it to be using, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. He's supposed to resign and let another person take over and then let him focus on the campaigning. Well, why are you holding on to the public service out there? It's like you are just using the money to run your campaign as a party. That's what it will imply, because there will be no transparency, there will be no accountability, there will be nothing to show for it. That's this government cares. This stuff I can go today. Rest of time. I'll be seeing you by God's grace tomorrow for another edition of JV Trading News. See you tomorrow.